Dear friends, a girl got married to a monkey. This is a true story that you may have never heard before. What did the monkey do with the girl after the marriage? We will tell you the story ahead, so be sure to watch the video. If you like it, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Friends, in ancient times, there was a righteous king. Once, the king went out for a walk with his ministers. They set up camp near the jungle. When it was time to eat, they laid out the feast. At that moment, the king saw a large monkey sitting quietly on a big tree, watching everything. The monkey showed no typical monkey behavior. The king said to put a little food in front of the monkey. The monkey came down from the tree, took a slate, wrote something with charcoal, and then gave it to the king. On the slate, it was written, "I will not eat like this." Seeing this, the king was very surprised. The king ordered to set up a similar feast for the monkey as they had done for him. After that, the monkey came down from the tree, ate the food, and then climbed back up the tree. Suddenly, black clouds covered the sky. The servants quickly gathered all the items. The king told the servants to put a piece of tarp in front of the monkey so it wouldn't get wet. The servants put the piece of tarp in front of the monkey. The monkey wrote something on the slate again and gave it to the king. It was written, "Rain cannot wet me." A few days later, when the king was preparing to leave, he told the servants to ask the monkey if it was ready to come with them. The monkey wrote again indicating it was willing to come. The king ordered that one of the tents meant for the servants be given to the monkey. But the monkey wrote again, "Build me a palace just like the king's palace, or else I won't come." The king was amazed by the monkey's request. Nevertheless, he ordered a palace to be built for the monkey. After the palace was built, the monkey started visiting the king's palace. The monkey listened carefully to various matters. When the king was about to make a wrong decision, the monkey would quickly take the paper from the king's hand, tear it up, and write the correct decision. The king grew fond of the monkey and loved him more than anything. The king's daughter also became interested in seeing the monkey. One day, the princess came with her friends to see the monkey. When the monkey saw the princess, it stared at her. The princess, scared of the monkey, ran inside the palace. After that, whenever the princess got ready, the monkey would come and ask her, "Will you marry me? Believe me, I am also very beautiful." The princess knew that this was a polite monkey and would not harm her. Gradually, the princess developed sympathy for the monkey. When this news reached the king, he did not like that the monkey was coming to his daughter's room. The next day, the king came to meet the monkey. The monkey was present in the palace. The king said, "Look, I don't know who you are, but I have listened to everything you said and treated you as an equal. Maybe no other king would have done the same. Red Heart, and now you have started troubling my daughter. I do not like this at all. Before I take any strict action, you better stop." The monkey quickly brought paper and pen from the palace and wrote something and gave it to the king. It was written, "I want to marry your daughter, and I assure you that I will always keep her happy." The king was shocked to read this, thinking that marrying his flower-like princess to this monkey could never happen. The king said, "This can never happen in my lifetime." The monkey quickly drew the king's sword from his waist and wrote with the other hand, "If this cannot happen in your lifetime, be ready to die. I will kill you and marry your daughter. You are my benefactor. You kept me in this palace, provided me with food and drink. I do not want to stain my hands with your blood by killing you." The king spent the night in worry, but did not tell his wife anything. He knew that as soon as his wife found out, she would create a scene in the entire palace. By morning, the king had decided to give up his life. The princess, with tears in her eyes, said, "Father, what are you saying? May Allah bless you with a long life." The king said, "My daughter, that monkey is after me and is asking me to marry him to you. The monkey is still alive." The king said, "I will go and tell the monkey clearly that I can never marry you to my daughter. After that, he might kill me. You go and hide in the basement with your mother." The princess said, "Please agree to my marriage with the monkey." Finally, the princess somehow convinced her father. The king informed the monkey of his consent, and the monkey said, "Start preparing for the wedding." When the queen found out about this, she was very upset. The next day, when the princess returned to the palace, she was very happy. The queen was surprised to see this and said, "Daughter, are you so happy with that monkey?" The princess said, "Yes, I am very happy." During the day, the princess told her father that she was happy with the monkey. The queen looked through the keyhole and saw that the princess was sitting with a very handsome young man, laughing and talking with him. The queen was astonished to see this. The queen thought, "Why does he wear this thick monkey skin and roam around as a monkey? If I burn this skin, he will never become a monkey again." The queen took the monkey's skin to her palace and set it on fire. When the princess returned to her father's palace, she saw that her mother had set the monkey's skin on fire. The princess quickly extinguished the fire and realized that it was her mother's doing. She cried and said, "Mother, I told you to leave me alone. Now are you satisfied?" The queen was worried after hearing all of the princess's words. When the king found out, he sent the servants, but there was no trace of the monkey. The princess's appearance completely changed. One night, the princess was sitting under a tree in the same jungle. On the tree, two birds, a male and female chukar, were sitting and talking. The princess was listening to their conversation. The chukar is a bird that, whenever asked the reason for the worry, everyone said that their prince's condition was very bad. The princess bought sandalwood and other medicines from the market, and, after buying the necessary items, reached the royal palace. She told the guards that she wanted to treat the prince. The king said, "How will you treat the prince? Great doctors and healers couldn't cure him." The princess replied, "If the prince is not cured in 40 days, do whatever you want." By the king's order, the princess was given a room next to the prince. The princess started the treatment, and within a month, the prince was completely cured, but the wounds were still a little raw. Just as the Chikori and Chikora had mentioned 40 days, The princess continued to serve the prince in the same manner. The king was ready to give her a big reward, and the prince was deeply grateful to that healer. However, on the 40th day, the princess applied the last treatment on the prince's body and left, returning to her palace. Before leaving, the princess had asked the prince for his ring and took it with her to her father's palace. The prince did not know that the healer had left. In the palace, preparations for the prince's health recovery were in full swing, but there was no trace of the healer. The prince was very worried, and the king was also amazed at who the healer was that left quietly without asking for a single penny. When the prince was completely healed, he remembered his new bride. One day, he asked for his father's permission and left under the pretext of hunting and went straight to his in-laws' house. He was dressed in royal attire and had a royal contingent of soldiers with him. The servants respectfully seated him in the palace and informed the king. The king, saddened by his daughter's absence, had grown old prematurely. The prince respectfully greeted the king. The king said, "Son, who are you, and where have you come from? You look like a prince, but I don't know you, and I have never seen you before." The prince said, "O my benefactor, you may not know me, but I will never forget you. I know you very well. In fact, I am the same monkey that you treated as an equal, kept in your palace, provided food and drink, and married to your daughter." The king asked in joy and astonishment, "Son, how is this possible?" The prince said, "I will tell you my story later, but first, tell me, where is my bride?" The king said, "Son, after you left, she lives alone in the same palace." The prince happily ran into the palace. The princess, a picture of sorrow, sat with a wilted face. Seeing the prince before her, the princess couldn't believe it. The prince said, "Yes, princess, your love brought me here. Your mother left no stone unturned to kill me, burning my whole body." He had taken nothing but the ring. The princess showed him the ring and asked, "Is this your ring?" The prince said, "Yes, but how did it come into your possession?" The princess said, "Because that healer was none other than me." Then the princess told him the whole story. The princess said, "My mother was not your enemy either. When she saw you as a human, she burned the monkey skin so that you wouldn't turn back into a monkey." The princess said, "Your mistake was that you never told me why you turned into a monkey, or I would have protected that skin more than my life." The prince said, "I really never got a chance to tell you these things. About a year ago, I went hunting with my servants. In the forest, I saw a deer, shot an arrow at it, but the deer disappeared from my sight. I went in search of that deer, and I went so far that all the people who were with me were left behind. I had separated from my companions. I saw an old man sitting near the desert with a 12-year-old boy beside him. The old man was crying, and blood was flowing from the boy's leg. The old man weeping. "Red heart, red heart, red heart," the man kept cursing the person who had shot an arrow at the child's leg. Seeing me, the old man angrily said, "Are you human or a monkey? You don't even have the manners of a shepherd." Just as he said this, I immediately transformed from a human into a monkey. Now wander through the jungle. You will not find a place to stay anywhere. With his curse and my condition, I was so distressed that I held his feet and started crying, asking for forgiveness. Seeing my condition, the child felt pity for me. He told his grandfather, "Grandfather, when a person admits their mistake, they should be forgiven. We should forgive him." When the boy insisted a lot, the old man said, "Learn from this. See what you did to him, and now he is seeking your well-being. Anyway, I can't take my curse back, but I can lessen it. You will remain a monkey for 7 years. When a girl, out of sympathy, agrees to marry you, you will return to your original state. If you get married before a year, you will only be able to appear as a human in front of your wife." I had no choice but to leave there, that I couldn't return to my palace, and I had no other place to go. For 6 months, I wandered in the jungle like this. After that, I met your father in the jungle. He took me from there to the palace with him. Then the king arranged your marriage with me. And you know the rest of the story very well. The prince hadn't even finished his story when the queen and the king overheard everything. Then the queen apologized to the prince, and the prince forgave her. The king said, "We have no son. Son, now you will stay with us." The prince said, "I have to take my bride to my palace to meet my father. But I promise you, I will not leave you alone and will keep coming back." After that, the prince took his bride and went to his father's place, and they both lived happily ever after. Friends, I hope you enjoyed this story. To hear more such stories, subscribe to the Sobhan Voice channel and become a part of our family. Thank you for staying with me till the end of the video.